Ray Karen, and for today's video, I want to get right into it by saying the iPhone 13 Pro is still one of the best phones on the market in 2022. If you guys are out there asking yourself, should I upgrade to the iPhone 14 Pro? I'm going to say, no, it's not necessary. Let's get into it. There are features within the iPhone 13 Pro that stood the test of time throughout the year that I've had this phone. The camera, battery, iOS 15, and hardware all stand out to me when I think back on my time with this phone. Jumping into those three features that stood the test of time while I've had my iPhone 13 Pro this past year, and I want to focus on the camera. The camera was something that I used so much with this iPhone, more so compared to any of the iPhones that I had in the past. Apple introduced the three 12 megapixels cameras on the back of the iPhone 12, and the iPhone 13 Pro got that plus more. We also got the introduction of the macro lens, and that was super cool. We did get the option to toggle that on with the update that came with iOS 15.2. We also got cinematic mode, something that was so cool. I really loved using cinematic mode with my time using my iPhone 13 Pro. And then we also got a wider sensor and a wider aperture coming in at f1.5, and that's going to give you guys way better low light video and way better low light photography. So the camera was definitely something to be talked about when this iPhone 13 Pro first came out, and me using it for a year, it has become my daily driver. I have used this camera more so than this DSLR that I have right in front of me. I've used the iPhone 13 Pro camera to film B-roll. I've used it to do just about everything. I love this camera being so easy to use, and the quality of it is just amazing. And that's why I say Apple did a really good job with the iPhone 13 Pro camera, and it's definitely something to pay attention to. What I was most impressed about with my iPhone 13 Pro was the battery life. I have to say that the battery life on the iPhone 13 Pro is unlike any other iPhone that I've had. And I'll say that a lot about the features in this video that I talk about, because the iPhone 13 Pro really is one of Apple's best iPhones. On paper, Apple says that the iPhone 13 Pro battery will give you up to 20 hours of battery life. And I would say that maybe that is a little low, because I have used my iPhone for everything. As I said earlier, this has been my daily driver. So you guys, I am writing YouTube scripts on my iPhone. I am gaming on my iPhone. I am watching Twitch streams on my iPhone. I'm filming short form YouTube short, TikTok, and Instagram videos on my iPhone. And this battery really holds up. By the end of the day, there are some days where I have about 7 to 8 hours of on-screen time, and I really still have about 40 to 35% of my battery, and that is on my heavy use days. So if you guys have any picture of everything that I'm doing on this phone, and if you know that this iPhone battery is still kicking by like 8 o'clock with 40% or 35% battery, that is super impressive for an iPhone. And that's why I'm like, this is the most crazy thing that Apple put into this phone was this battery life. Right now, a year later, my battery is only on 95%. And that means the battery is still in really good health. Back when I worked at Apple, I would see people come into the Apple store with their battery percentage being at 50%, 45%, and I couldn't believe it. Now, as the phones are getting better and better, the battery life is getting better and better alongside the phone and the other features. And that is why I just say hold off on that iPhone 14 Pro when you have a battery that is still kicking at 95% and a year later. Now that I've talked about the camera and the battery, I want to talk about something that completely changed the game with the rollout of the iPhone 13 Pro, and that was iOS 15. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on iOS 15 because we do have iOS 16 out right now, but for an iPhone 13 Pro final review video, it will behoove me, I don't know. I would be crazy to not talk about iOS 15, because with the introduction or the rollout of iOS 15, we got so many customization features. I would have to say that Apple dipped its toes, or maybe Apple kind of jumped into the water when it came to customization features with iOS 15. We got widgets, we got the ability to change the photos of your app icons, we got focus mode, we got privacy. Privacy was a huge thing with the iPhone 13 Pro, and I really appreciate that Apple took the privacy of its consumers so seriously. But yeah, iOS 15 was an amazing rollout, and I really used the focus mode religiously, you guys. I use it to sleep. If you guys texted me or anything, if you texted me right now, my phone is usually on work, it's usually on sleep, or it's usually on do not disturb. And that feature alone really changed my productivity. So I was really happy with everything that rolled out with iOS 15. And to say that iOS 16 is even better and it allows you to customize your iPhone home screen even more, it's just crazy. It's like Apple just keeps getting better and better. And I know these are a lot of features that Android phones have had in the past, but if you're an avid Apple user, then iOS 15 was super cool. And I remember when I opened my phone, booted it up, used iOS 15, I was just so happy. And I want you guys to know that you do not have to buy an iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 14 Pro Max to get iOS 16 on your phone. Just check in your settings and toggle on that update. The last feature that I want to talk about with this iPhone 13 Pro is going to be the hardware. And I do not think that enough people, or at least enough tech YouTubers, really talk about how amazing this iPhone 13 Pro hardware really was. We got a stainless steel framing. We have that beautiful matte finish on the back of the phone. We got 120 adaptive refresh rate screen. It was just the hardware. Apple kind of just pulled out all the stops with the iPhone 13 Pro. And that's why I say, you guys, if you are in the market for a new phone, definitely, I'm going to say it so much, take a look at the iPhone 13 Pro, because man, the hardware, the finish, everything on the phone was really top notch. The glass on this phone was miles better than the glass on the iPhone 12 Pro, because this glass, I barely have any scratches on the glass of my phone. I really don't think it's gonna show up in the video, but you guys, I am not a person that puts cases on my phone. I am not a person that really cares that much about cracking and damaging it, because I do get the Apple Care. But with this iPhone 13 Pro, I didn't have to worry about that. This was premium from straight out of the box all the way into a year later. I just have nothing bad to say about the hardware of the phone. It stood the test of time and it is still kicking. I want to leave you guys with my final thoughts about the iPhone 13 Pro, and I can say confidently that this is a very solid phone. I also want you guys to be aware that now that the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 14 Pros are out, you need to check with your carrier, because the iPhone 13 Pro might be a little cheaper, and I would definitely suggest taking advantage of those discounts, because as I said in the beginning of the video, the iPhone 13 Pro is an amazing phone still to this day in 2022, and I know you guys won't be disappointed if you pick it up. Now let's sound off in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the iPhone 13 Pro. I really love hearing all of your opinions, and of course I'm gonna have to say all of that normal YouTuber stuff. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, make sure you guys are subscribed and turn on notifications. I will see you guys in the next video.